Hi everyone. I'm still suffering from the effects of painkillers and antibiotics, so I'm not the clearest at the moment I've ever been. But last year, I was extremely concerned about our pollinating insects, about the wildlife here: spiders, birds, reptiles, bats, our European tree rats, scorpions, tarantulas, stick insects. They're just not here, and they haven't been here for about a year. Also last year I was noticing that our supermarkets had gone from 5 aisles to 4 and widened the walkways. Whole sections had disappeared and the fruit and veg section had halved. This was September, October, heading into November. We also spent 6 months of last year not being able to get certain cuts of meat, and some of them have returned back to the shelf now. So we had a very unusual food year last year. We saw massive increases in products like sweets, cakes, biscuits, beer, all the stuff you don't really need but you'd quite like. So I was already, and we were seeing boxes of insect snacks start to appear on the shelves as well. I was getting quite concerned by this, and I started doing extra stocking up. November, I think I started in earnest properly, getting in more dried goods, more rice, etc. Just because I was seeing the wildlife here going, and looking at the crop productions, the wheat, corn, they were 17 to 19% down due to various reasons. So we cut forward to today, and what do I see today? Well, the homeless people are screwed, aren't they? Everywhere. They've put some of them into hostels here, which means they've disappeared. America is my prime concern for homeless people, because they actually outlawed homelessness. I haven't looked into this in Europe yet, but I'm going to see whether there was a bill put through. But in the majority of states in America, it was deemed illegal or made illegal to be homeless. And of course, now they're promoting the lack of cash, that cash is dirty. So, and the elderly are dying in swathes in countries like Italy and Spain, who are barely keeping afloat economically. I guess you would be able to say the same about America with their 30 trillion debt. So we can only time will tell if the other countries' elderly start succumbing like they are in Italy. Italy being the one country that if it toppled, Europe would go anyway, and Greece. And we're certainly going to see that all non-essential businesses in Italy are now shut, all of them. So they're going to bankrupt everybody there, and especially people on a low income, migrants, and they're going to create societal chaos. And again, people say, oh yes, but they're going to offer to pay X, they're going to pay Y. And when that runs out, how long could that last? Potentially to feed, house, and basically look after an entire nation of people. How long do you think they've got the money reserves to do that? Then it comes down to our hidden bank accounts. I uncovered 30 plus of my own hidden bank accounts in the UK last year. In my name, registered at birth. I can give people the details of how to access them yourself. We haven't taken any money out of them, because in all earnest, we haven't needed to. It would have been very useful because we are struggling financially now, and we will do because of this lockdown. But that leads me back to the UBI. We already have millions and millions of pounds in our name in bank accounts, all across the world. Actually, I'll focus on the UK. These accounts are in our name. They have account numbers, sort codes. They have backability payments. I know because I've uncovered them. So I'm not going to say for sure that I've got this right, but I think now this is a food issue. I really do. I think this is a cover for food. Whether or not there's enough food is a different matter, and I don't mean whether somebody now wants to control the food 100%. But if you look at the financial, natural, and I suppose economic occurrences at the moment, they point to one thing and one thing only, which is kill off the useless eaters. But of course, there's not a human being on earth that's a useless eater, unless it's a paedophile or a rapist or a psychopath. in which case we should just exterminate them anyway now, shouldn't we? But they're not going to do that, are they? They're actually slyly going to remove many layers of society, many demographics that they deem unworthy, I guess, of what's to come, which will be a universal income. And it will come from money that we've generated by our soul. And if you think that's a strange comment for me to make, that this money that they're going to pay us back has been generated by our soul, ask me and I'll make another video and I'll go into it in more detail, where your bank accounts are, how to access them, and how much money they've got in them. And you will be truly horrified, any of you, to know that if you've been in financial difficulty in your life, that you could have accessed these accounts at a whim and withdrawn money and paid bills with them, with loans with them, and interest with them. I'm going to leave it there because, as I say, my mind's not 100% clear at the moment. But sometimes a fuggy mind produces thoughts that a clear mind doesn't. Cheers.